decided to establish an independent SPREP and agreed to relocate its base from Nomea to Samoa. Since that time, we have taken many small but confident steps towards this destination.
This work, this great work, has been a work that was done with great anticipation and great hopes. And we now see the fruit of the tree of life. Because the good Lord has been helping in many ways. And now the establishment for the Center for the South Pacific Region Environment Program has now come to reality. It is no longer a dream or a desire or an anticipation of the heart. It is in reality because the good Lord has been so kind to us. And therefore, everyone among us ought to be qualified to live for the glory of God, to whom be the praise and glory forever. Amen.
Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul,
we on the task force are especially thankful to Prime Minister Tuilepa Salele Malialenga-Oi for his consistent backing of our efforts. We're particularly thankful also to his Foreign Affairs Secretary, who was always there with wise counsel about how we might do this, and also to the Director of SPREP, Tamari Turangata, who throughout this whole process had been helping us to find solutions to problems. We seem to have problems at every turn, but he helped us find solutions. I would also like to pay special tribute to one person who can't be here today, who really played a very important role, and that's the former New Zealand High Commissioner, Peter Hamilton. He made a major contribution in the design stage of this project. When I say from little things, big things grow, I believe that this project has helped catalyse a stronger sense of commitment from regional countries, regional governments, to environmental management and sustainable development. Finally, I wish our SPREP staff, friends here, and the director and his management team all the very best as they move in. We hope all goes well and that the building turns out to be as good as we hoped it would be. So forth.
I wish to convey our gratitude to all the 26 member countries comprising SPREP for trusting Care Construction to work for you. The work has been a challenge in that the reputation of a new and locally based company has been launched. We sincerely hope that what we have constructed meets your approval. We, Care Construction, recommend our company for any of your future works. Before I say my final words, we need to warn SPREP that your friendly next door neighbor will be demanding all the rocks used for your landscaping. It is with pride and honor that I hand over these newly constructed facilities to a South Pacific Environmental Program. Haftaite lava, yes,
The official and keynote address for today will be delivered by the Honourable Prime Minister of the Independent State of Samoa, the Honourable Sungatulaipa Sailele Malielengoi. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honourable Prime Minister.
This new headquarters for SPREP, which we are dedicating today, symbolizes the vision and the determination of our region at the height of the global debate on the environment, to place the environment and sustainable development as key priorities for our island nations. And with that goal in mind came the need for a permanent and secure home for a specialized environmental organization. As host country, I would like to thank all our member countries for their support, in particular the governments of Australia and New Zealand for their financial support to this project. I would also like to acknowledge the kind donations from the governments of Papua New Guinea, France, United States, and the People's Republic of China. Let me also thank the headquarters task force, the architects, the builders, and everyone, including the families in this quiet neighborhood, who all played a role and contributed to the successful completion of this project. May these lovely buildings be not just a comfortable retreat for regional public servants, but the engine that drives the work to balance economic development efforts with environmental safeguards and a regional repository for knowledge on environmental issues. That is the challenge for the director and his staff as we mark the beginning of a new millennium and a new era for SPREP with the opening of this new office complex. I wish the director and his staff success.
Respond to the address by the Honourable Prime Minister and to thank our guests and friends who are here today, I have the greatest honour to introduce to you the Director of SPREP, Mr. Tamari Tutangata.
Honourable Prime Minister, we of the SPREP Secretariat are deeply grateful to be honoured by your address, which was both inspiring and sobering. Inspiring in the vision confidence and challenges that you have conferred on the Secretariat, while at the same time leaving us somewhat sober in the increased expectations of the Secretariat staff that these new facilities would inevitably engender amongst our donors and members. I am certain also that everyone present would now appreciate better the significance of this occasion through your address, not just to Samoa, but to our region. If I may be so bold, Prime Minister, I feel through your presence, the presence of your friends, the other government leaders of the Pacific Islands Forum. And I hear through your address the echo of the voices of those same leaders. For it was the collective support of the leaders of the Pacific Islands Forum that made this SPREP Center possible. And so it is with a sense of real humble pride and quiet relief that I stand before you all on this very special occasion in the development of SPREP as a regional institution. I and my staff are humbled by the unanimous support for this center by leaders of government of our region, our members, the government and people of Samoa, and the donor community. For this public display of support can only lead to higher expectations on an already hard-working Secretariat. At the same time, we are proud of the recognition of the value of SPREP's work to our region. The quiet relief that I feel is perhaps a reflection of what the Prime Minister has already stated in his reference to the end of a long journey and yet the beginning of a new one. I am conscious that the realization of this center is cause for quiet celebration, since this center provides a more conducive atmosphere for consistent, intense performance for us as regional servants.
The kura aroa is a special gift which is only given and received by chiefs. Me te iti tangata from the people, e te kawamani and the government of the Cook Islands. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to also invite and extend an invitation to the member countries and member governments to follow suit and to also bring with you a gift at some other stage when visiting Samoa again as a collection of unique traditional tokens and gifts that can be displayed here at the SPREP headquarters as to show our uniqueness as a Pacific region to visitors and official dignitaries from the international arena. Congratulations to the Director of SPREP, Tamari Tutangata, and to the staff of this organization. I wish you every success, again on behalf of the people and the government of the Cook Islands.
We do hope that this complex will serve as a meeting place for all of us in the Pacific, since it is to do with the environment in which we live. This building is for all of us, big, small, leaders, and children. I would like to present it to the Director.
Ja, ole I toso e seina puni o lo o puni ai ia lenei maafamnatu tuia ina ngane fale o le ufale mai ai o sui uma o tātou tulangi o Pasifika mo le whataoto pol kalame au ngā le mo puinga si manga o tātou motu uma Pasifika.
Right here.
Well, it's great to see the progress that has been made. This is a multinational effort here, but New Zealand's put in some $1.25 million, but it's a great investment. It's an investment in providing a home for people that are doing critical work in the environment, in waste management, in climate change and in conservation. I think we all realise that we need to protect, promote our environment if it is to sustain good quality human life, and SPREP is an important part of that.
Fantastic. We need it long ago.
We should be fine, set up for a fishing operation.
Really is going to be very motivated to are here now. It's a big difference.
E mānei a lava e air condition po le ea malulu o lo whaongai nei mo le soifua lelei ma leo mato computers.
It's going to be a great place to work.
Oh, it is fantastic.
It's magnificent. It's new. And it's so peaceful. And cool. Very cool.
Surrounding environment suits our theme, our motto. Be green, live green, breathe green, beautiful.
Booyah.
6 months after we moved here, my decision was vindicated. People realized that we went to Rio Summit, even though we were still unsettled, but people came to Samoa. And it took a while to build ourselves up, and I think that was, and the other thing, as I said, is that the government of Samoa was willing to go all out for us to come. And that is the spirit of regional agencies. The time of difficulty, the time for the Pacific, we are supposed to be helping them. And if we were a source of perhaps happiness at a time of such sadness in this country, then I think that has really set the relationship between SPREP and the government of Samoa. It will last forever.
It was quite a surprise to us, flying in straight after Cyclone Val. I think within a month of Cyclone Val, we were quite surprised and really concerned for Samoa. We were sitting outside in Noumea hearing about a cyclone but not realising just how devastating it had been. Then we came to our building, we found that there'd been people sheltering in the building because it was one of the stronger buildings around, and we really felt quite surprised that we were setting up at that time. But by the same token, we could understand why the organisation had chosen to still move despite the cyclone, because our director at the time, Vili Fulvao, felt very strongly that our move at that time showed faith in Samoa's ability to recover from a cyclone. So it was an interesting time for us. The early times were quite difficult, but we were aware that everybody in Samoa was having difficulties at that time, and we were just part of that process.
In those early days, I was very, very blessed with staff I had. I had some very good staff. Some of them are still in the organization, which make me very happy and very pleased to see how progressed they are at the moment. But I was blessed with people who I would say at the time almost married the organization. In the early days of SPREP, it was a 24-hour job, setting up, moving tables, setting up the office, assigning things, and of course unloading the containers that we arrived here and took a few weeks before it came here.
Well, it's amazing. It's an amazing dream come true. It's we've been waiting for these buildings for quite some time, and I think at one stage we did not think that it was gonna happen, but here we are. It's quite a morale boost for the staff and everybody that has been associated with SPREP. That we now have a permanent colony in Samoa is a very good thing. It provides a very conducive environment for us to work, and I think we all feel a lot more relaxed now that we know we're not going to shift in the near future.
The move to Apia initially was something that was part of this dream, becoming a separate regional organisation. And even when we were in our early facilities down at Vitelli, we still nevertheless felt quite independent and quite happy to, be able to be managing our own affairs. But the reality of living in cramped spaces and working in cramped spaces, particularly as our staff increased, was something that was very difficult to contend with. And I think we didn't quite appreciate just how difficult the working conditions were until we actually moved to this facility where we've got office space. We no longer have to move boxes to make space we can actually have a seat for visitors. We don't need to be shuffling things around as we were so much in the other building. But I think it also signifies for us something that is more important. It shows that our host government has made available something that's very special for SPREP, and I think that's recognition of the importance of SPREP to the region, and significant too in that it shows that Western Samoa is very much committed to the ongoing existence of SPREP and the ongoing support for environmental activities in the region. And I think that's really what this building signifies.
It's really a long sort of ride for all of us that have been with SPREP at the beginning. We started off with just a small number of staff in what looks like a really big center at the time. But as it grew up, it grows and grows and extended the last 8 years. We are finding that it's like working in a small box. And at the moment, it's still pretty new. We've just moved here last month, and it's like receiving a package of a sort of like a Christmas present. And it's like you dreamed for this present throughout these last 8 years, and it's now become a reality. And it's finally been open, and we're enjoying it now.
Posa bisu pusili, posa masike ke mai fiti, posa ina sapasui, manita mata manipi. Afailo voutonu, utonu ilo loto, tawai poiko, ometeile malo, elenga ortatua, ideaile tiapolo, ei mou sau pepe, ole pepe ole po. O kakalauhani, lauhani paselsele, o te patu saina, isa palapi.